Would you rather universal healthcare or 12 attack submarines? Bad news for people in Canada, the government has already chosen.
The HDW Class 212 CD for Canada, one of the world's most advanced submarines.
It's the 12 metal tubes to support a hostile foreign policy directed by the Pentagon, the War Department, and a demented fascist pedophile.
An ambitious investment in new, best-in-class submarines.
A total cost of $100 billion. I can personally think of 100 billion better ways to spend Canadians' resources. Schools, pharmacare, universal childcare, fixing outdated infrastructure, building renewable energy, fireproofing communities, high-speed rail, public housing. I could go on. So could you. And I sincerely hope that at the bottom of our collective list of things to spend money on is 12 attack submarines.
That this procurement will be the largest in Canadian history.
Disgusting. Stealth is the key difference between the new submarines and the current Canadian fleet. $100 billion for a stealth upgrade. The hospitals can wait. Some people might bend over backwards and say, we need these. NATO, defending against the US. Anyone saying that Canada needs this ridiculous military spending to defend against the United States Empire is misleading you or completely ignorant on how Canada's military works.
Will operate seamlessly alongside our NATO partners.
They're not for defense. It's in the name. The Canadian military is designed to assist the US Empire, not defeat it. Supporting the US Empire's foreign policy should be at the bottom of Canadians' lists of to-dos. What happened to elbows up? These attack submarines are a tool for power projection to support the US Empire. The Canadian military is already openly saying these attack submarines would be aggressively placed in the Taiwan Strait in the name of foreign policy. Imagine China saying, yeah, we're planning on putting attack submarines in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. It's our foreign policy. I think people would rightly be a little nervous from that. But that's what the Canadian military political establishment are doing. They're openly plotting to be hostile against a global superpower. Oh, it's different when China does it because they're evil and communist. You sound like Donald Trump if you're saying that. These attack submarines reflect the offensive nature of NATO. NATO is the US Empire's offensive military alliance, currently led by a fascist with dementia, Donald Trump. Canada still being in NATO is akin to a minor power still being in the fascist axis in the 1930s.
And it's fully NATO interoperable to share intelligence and to carry out joint missions.
Canada has to leave NATO ASAP. Every day spent in an offensive military alliance led by a fascist is a day wasted not being in an offensive military alliance led by a fascist. One of these days is not like the other. We're gonna build infrastructure, asterisks.
We'll build the infrastructure to house this fleet.
You'll continue to have to pay shitloads of money for groceries and childcare. There's just no money left in the budget. Sorry.
And they will call for some sacrifices.
Don't worry, the attack submarines are getting the best of the best.
The shipyards, the jetties, the dry docks, and the support facilities.
They would also be obsolete technology. Modern warfare is dominated by drones. Russia's Black Sea submarine fleet has been stationed in port and covered with netting to protect them from cheap drones. It's an already obsolete thing. The media's already manufacturing consent. Why are the media declaring a Cold War? A period of time known for immense human suffering and the ever-present threat of total nuclear annihilation? Why is the media pushing us towards that? CBC? Hello? Bold hot take. War is bad. Peace is good. I don't want World War III. I know, crazy. The truth is, the wealthy elite, military-industrial complex, and corrupt political leaders are excited at the idea of a new Cold War with Russia because they will profit. Mark Carney should be in The Hague, okay? In a just world, he's in The Hague being tried for complicity and materially supporting Israel's and apartheid of Palestinians.
And we reaffirm Israel's right to defend itself.
If you like my commentary and want to hear more, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Young people in Canada have been abandoned, failed by corrupt political leaders who are only serving themselves, corporations, and the wealthy elite. Young people in Canada can't afford to get married, can't afford food, can't afford to have kids. No prospect for ever owning their own home. Lifelong debt just to get an education. They only see doom and wage slavery to serve the needs of the capital-owning class. Therein lies the underlying implicit threat of capitalism. Serve your masters, or your basic needs will be taken from you. Serve them. Everything's getting worse. Wealth inequality is accelerating. Young people's happiness levels are plummeting. The system is not working, like a massive crack in the ice, and every day more and more people are falling through. Not good. And the climate's collapsing. Congratulations, young people. Here's your future. Now go eat it.
It's a very exciting place to be at a crucial time for our country.
When the government doesn't serve the working class, people can become disillusioned and nihilistic. I'll tell you what's not good for society. A group of people who are disillusioned and nihilistic. Those people are prone to violence. Unemployment, depression, the imbalance of society's wealth can push people into the arms of fascism. Fascism's rotten grip over society has only gotten stronger. White supremacist rallies are happening across Canada. Shit's not good. Improving well-being and happiness by redistributing wealth is the way to defeat fascism. That's the reason communists and socialists are the first targets of fascists when they gain power.
And the strategy to defeat the scourge of far-left terror, outlining a comprehensive strategy to investigate and disrupt Antifa terror networks and their allies.
Canada's government has presented no positive vision of the future. Their plan is to increase the pain that you feel in your family and community.
The transformation of our economy will not happen easily or in a few months. It will require sacrifices, and it will take some time.
Their plan is to exclude young people from the benefits of Canada's vast wealth. Their plan is using austerity to steal our collective wealth, and they're giving it to corporations, the richest Canadians, and the military-industrial complex, serving capital and accelerating climate change. That's the world that the corrupt political class has built for Canada's next generations. What's not to look forward to? Climate is rapidly deteriorating, death and mass migration are already occurring.
Officials in British Columbia compare the Bald Range wildfire to a bomb going off. Several fires in the province have forced more than 20,000 people to be evacuated.
Half the country is on fire for half the year. That's just happening every year now. Nothing to see here. Let's build a pipeline. Wildfires are laying communities to ash, and the masses are being choked out by the smoke. Meanwhile, Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, is increasing fossil fuel production.
The changes we have made will mean that our emissions will be higher in the next few years than they were projected to be under the previous government's plan. But in my judgment, that plan was not sustainable over the long term.
And he's getting Canadians to pay for it. A vulnerable metal tube full of a liquid that is accelerating climate collapse. What's not to look forward to?
Building a low-carbon pipeline, which makes the country more independent, more resilient, more sustainable.
This is a criminal choice, a choice that will immiserate the working class and the wealthy ruling class elite. Nobody is immune from the effects of climate change. This anti-science, anti-human mindset of infinite growth, fossil fuel production is unsustainable. The fight against anthropogenic climate change is the existential threat of our time. Untold suffering is happening right now. But don't worry, the oil and gas executives will be eating good.
It's also why we're developing options for a second oil pipeline to the West Coast.
The federal government has met with oil and gas lobbyists on average 5 times a day. The natural resource minister gets lobbied by his former industry on average every 3 days. 83 times in total. These old white dudes are sitting in boardrooms deciding the fate of not just Canada, but the planet. And they're choosing to accelerate climate collapse. That's what Canada's officials are up to.
Building a low-carbon pipeline.
Fossil fuel insanity. These people aren't serving Canadians. They serve capital first and foremost. Literally climate crimes, cementing a hellish future to feed the insatiable desires of capital. Look, we have to be honest and truthful with our politics. People, young people in particular, in Canada are exhausted by the lies and lack of progress in Canadian politics. Corrupt political leaders have served the interests of capital over the working class for generations, dominated by the establishment political class, neoliberal imperialists, who are ideologically driven to profit off of our collective pain. That's called evil, in my mind. A safe society has to protect and defend against climate disasters. A competent government would apply a universal approach to Canada's society. Health, development, education, prosperity for everyone. These are the principles in which you actually fix the issues created by capitalism. The contradictions are worsening all the time, and they're not going to get better unless the working class actually seizes state power and implements policies that benefit everyone. Canada needs a government which focuses on empathy, peace, building happiness, security, education, infrastructure, hospitals, renewable energy, universal childcare. Instead, you'll probably end up with 12 attack submarines.
Silent, modular, and lethal.
Sorry, the corporatist capitalist parasites will continue to plunder Canada's wealth to dominate and destroy our lives. Capitalism cannot be fixed. A socialist future that cares for and elevates all people is the only way forward. The only way that doesn't lead to permanent death, destruction, and exploitation. So yeah, what would you rather? The choice has been made. You're getting 12 attack submarines to assist the US Empire. Congratulations, Canada. Here's your bag of shit. Now eat it. That's all for today, folks. Until next time, everybody take care. Peace and love. Free Palestine. Bye-bye.
An ambitious investment in new, best-in-class submarines.